Hey guys, it's Mrs. Simpson, and we're going to talk about what happens when you're creating an APA references page using Google Docs and you start to see some weird stuff that you're not sure how to cite. So, I was working on a paper, an informational essay about the medieval sweating sickness. And if you don't know much about it, I'm not surprised because it's a really antiquated illness, and the people that study it are writing for like pretty sophisticated and scholarly collegiate journals that then get reprinted and published online. So they're not a website, they're a journal that was published online, and all of the rules for just the algorithm reading the page tend to go away in Google Docs at this time. It's not quite sophisticated enough to know what to do. So I'm going to show you four different entries today, some of which are going to go really smoothly and easily, and others where I'm going to have to do a little bit of manual inputting to make things come out properly. All right, let's get rolling. So if you're using the materials that I use with my own students, you're looking at a page like this that says references page. And the first thing I ask my own students to do is to go back through their rough drafts and pull the URLs of every single article that they cited in their essay. And it just prevents you from accidentally leaving something out and failing to cite. And I'm not going to do all of these today because you would be watching me for like 45 minutes make entries, and that's probably not very interesting. I'll show you four. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is, now that I've got all of these pasted in, I'll just start at the top and like work my way down. So what I always like to do is go ahead and open up the URL because I need to compare what Google's algorithm pulled from that URL with what's actually there. And sometimes it does a great job of this and sometimes not so much. All right, so I actually pulled this up just to make sure you didn't lose time to loading. This is the article that I'm going to cite first. So I'm going to go back, and what I'm going to do is go to Tools, Citations, and you can see that a sidebar pops up over here, and it'll usually auto-populate to say MLA 8th edition. And if your teacher's having you cite using MLA, that's great. You don't need to change anything, but in my class, we're citing APA this time. So I'm going to pull the pull down menu, choose APA 7th edition, and now I'm ready, and it'll put everything in the correct format. So I'm going to go to Add Citation Source. And this very first one, as I look at it, it's just like a website article on a website. Pretty straightforward. So I can go to source type, website, accessed by a website, and then I can just copy and paste this URL into here. And let's see how good it does pull in my information. I feel like I'm spinning the wheel of fortune. Hey, looks pretty good, right? It looks like it pulled the title, the website, the date published, the author. I'm just going to confirm that it did a good job and that all of this is accurate. So English, Sweat, the other medieval academic. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I'm going to go make sure it's on the History Today website. Yes. Back again. The date of publication, May 15th, 2014. Yep, that's right. And Jared Bernard, let me make sure that matches. Yep, that's it. So now I'm just going to hit continue and add citation source. All right, that one's done. Now, you're going to get tempted. You're going to want to hit insert references. Don't do that until all of them are done. If you hit insert references after each one, you will end up with duplicate entries, and then it's a big fat mess to have to go back and delete them all. So don't do that. All right, let's go ahead and add another citation source. And I want to show you another one. So this is another one. I've gone to the second one here. And I think this one was pretty straightforward. I'm looking at it. Yeah, it looks like the Pharmaceutical Journal, but in this case, it's a journal, but it's an online journal, not like a print journal that they then put on the internet. And I think this is going to be pretty straightforward once again. So I'm going to go back and I'm just going to copy. It's a website, accessed by a website, search. All right, looks like it pulled everything. Once again, I just want to confirm it pulled everything correctly. Just what was the English sweating sickness? Yes. And I can kind of go back and forth and check. Pharmaceutical Journal, Andrew Haynes, 23 January 2015. Let's just check them all. That was right. Yes. Yes. Continue. Add citation source. All right, so far everything's going awesome. Look how fast this is going. it's not always going to go quite so smoothly. Let's talk about when things get a little bit sticky. All right, check this out. This is one of my sources, and I'll tell you why it's about to get sticky. It's because this is actually a print journal. Like medical professionals get a magazine that comes in the mail, but then what they do is it's like they scan it and they put it online. And there's this really cool feature that, like, I don't know, if I didn't know what I was expected to do, I would get really excited. Because if you go over here on the site, it says site, and you pull it up, and a lot of the information you need is right here. But don't get so excited. There's some things missing. Like, it doesn't have the URL where I found it online. I have to show that I got this off the internet. It doesn't show the date that I accessed it either. So there's at least two pieces of information missing. Now, should I just completely like close this off and like act like it's not there? No, of course not. There are things here that I can use, but I'm going to have to put some things in manually too. So just know it's there. It may be helpful to you, but don't think this is enough. If you got it on the internet, you've got to show you got it on the internet. All right, let me talk you through what happens when it gets sticky and what this is called. So when I go back, this time I'm going to add a citation source, but this time it's a journal article. And I know that because when I look at that site, you can see this is a journal, like obviously a print journal that they've now published online. So there are some additional things I'm going to have to do. It's accessed via a website. And now here's what kind of sucks. It can't auto-populate for me. I'm going to have to do the work. So let's do the work. Let's find our author's first, middle, and last name. And you know, it may help you to do this, like pull it and put it like side by side. And I think that's what I'm actually going to do just to show you. Okay, so now I've kind of got them pulled up side by side. All right, let me get back on here. I know I'm skipping around a little. All right, so here we go. It's Rachel Hajar, MD. Okay, so Rachel Hajar, MD. Now I may be able, remember how I said there was this? See, and it kind of doesn't give her whole name, so I'm just going to type it. Rachel Hajar, first name. Okay, the article's title. Okay, now I'm going to go back. The Era of History, Part 2, Medicine in the Middle Ages. And I can actually just copy this and paste it. I think that'll save me a little time anyhow. The title of the journal, let's go back and pull that. It is Heart Views. Okay, Heart Views. I'm guessing this is for people who work with like human hearts. Okay, now we have to go to the volume, the issue, and the pages. Okay, so watch volume. It'll probably have like a V in front of it. Okay. Okay, so the volume is, and you know, sometimes I gotta kind of look, right? So volume issue pages. Okay, so it's volume 13.4. Okay, 13.4. Okay, let's go back and find the issue. It's the October through December issue. And so it's going to maybe just do it like this. October through December issue. And now I have to do the pages, which that's easier, 158 to 162. I do have to do a little sleuthing, and sometimes you're not sure what you're looking at, and that's okay. You can figure it out. Okay, now I have to do the date of publication. And I don't have like a month or a day. I just have the year 2012, and that's fine. So I would skip over a month and day and just go down to the year. Published season. Sometimes it'll say like fall, spring, winter. Let me just make sure it doesn't have that. I don't think it did though. Nope, it's just October through December. Okay. The short title, it doesn't have a shortened title. Now here's what, if I just clicked on that, cite it for me, it didn't have the website address. This is like the name of the URL. So I'm just going to go back and copy and paste that URL in there. Just go up to the top. Command C, click over here. Okay, so DOI, you may not know what that stands for. Just look for it when you go back to the article. See how it has this number? This is an indexing number for periodicals. I'm just going to copy it and paste it. Whoops. You know, if it goes a little better anyway. Command C, Command V. And now, hooray, I'm ready to add citation source. So notice it has more and different information than maybe it had in the original entry. And just be aware that that's something you've got to do. All right, so next, let's do like one more. I think I said we'd do 4. I'm just going to pick something at random. I'm going to pick this one down here about what the Black Death tells us about the global economy. Notice I have not yet hit insert references because I'm not done. I'm going to click add citation source again, and let me just look at this and see what it was. Okay, so, oh wait, that's the wrong one. Here we go, this one. Okay, so this one like looks pretty straightforward, but one thing that could potentially get wonky is you've got 1, 2, 3 different authors here. And sometimes it'll read and like catch all the 3 different authors. And sometimes it'll just pick the first person and leave the other 2 off. Well, you can't do that. You have to credit them for their work. All right, so let's go ahead and get ready to see what we can do here. So it looks like it's, you know, on a website. It's like a website on a website. It's not a separate journal that like comes out in paper. So at least I don't have that hurdle to jump this time. So website. Accessed using a website. Let's see. Search using a URL. Okay, so hot dog. It caught all 3 authors. That was the thing I was most worried about because a lot of times it'll leave them off. Let's just make sure everything else lines up. Yeah, that was the title. This was the website. Let me just check that publication date. Make sure it looks right. March 3rd, 2020. Yep. Let me go back. Let me check their names, make sure it's right. Bell, Prescott, Lacey. Their first names are right. I just want to make sure. Adrian Bell, Andrew Prescott, Helen Lacey. Yes, these are all correct. Because sometimes it'll get their name incorrect and you do need to fix that manually. All right, so I can hit continue and add citation source. All right, now let's pretend for a minute that I've actually done all of these. They're all completely done and I'm ready to insert my references. So I want to go to the end of the page and now I want to hit insert references because wherever my cursor is blinking, that's where it will insert. If I did it up here, it would like insert it in the middle of all these URLs and that would look like a mess. So I'm just going to hit insert references and I've got it ready to go. Now I like to work in Lexa and Deca. It's a dyslexia friendly font that I find extremely easy to read. Lexa and Deca, at least this time, is not going to be an acceptable source font. So when you're moving this into your actual essay, just make sure it matches academic font style, probably Arial or Times New Roman, 12-point font. Just make sure you change it. Yep, Times New Roman right there. And, you know, you can imagine that I had done all of my references and I would be ready to insert this at the end of my document. All right, so I was at least able to show you one dicey little thing and how to get through it. Hopefully that helps you as you're working on your references page.